And we are recording.
People?
We've got all sorts of people here.
Want me to call the meeting?
Yeah, there's room here at the table, guys. I mean, you don't have to sit back
I don't
there.
have to, but I will. I'll call the meeting to order
Yeah, you really
of the CIP. First order of business is to organize the chair and the vice chair of the committee.
For sure. I nominate Dan.
I second.
You accept
Yes, it'll be my last year
to be chair or
To
to
be
be on the
chair.
committee?
to be chair, because I've only got one more year after this to be on the committee, so.
On the current term.
Yeah, but I told my wife, 75, I'm not gonna be doing any more of these.
There are
I've got
some
three.
75-year-olds that are not
I know.
affected by age.
I
Some
agree.
are.
I agree. My wife is.
Any other nominations?
I don't think we need a vice
Seeing none, I
chair.
don't know that we need to vote, but
Yeah,
vice chair,
I don't know if we need a vice chair,
Well,
but
it's just to open a meeting.
you should
Yeah.
run the meeting if he happens not to be.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll step in as vice chair if you need a cap.
I
or
will
somebody.
nominate you as vice chair.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Anybody else want to be vice chair? Alright. That was easy. Dan, it's your meeting.
Okay. I guess we're gonna start with the CIP plan review for emergency services.
So just to tell you while they're coming up. What I decided this year, I don't know if we put a calendar in for you, but, we also need to figure out when we're gonna set our meetings. So we should do that before the end of the night when we're actually
Yeah.
gonna meet.
Yeah.
I made some assumptions, but
I mean, I guess for the off select board Monday work,
Yeah, I mean, well, you have an idea of when the budget meetings are,
right?
so we
those
wanna,
are coming, they haven't set their nights yet, but if you guys set your nights, we can say, well.
Well, that's what I mean. If we set
Right.
it as being the off select board Monday,
when's the budget committee gonna be meeting? What night of the week?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, but then they gotta set their night.
They get-
And
right,
then
so-
The last 2 years, it's changed
Right.
because of the committee.
Was
What-
it last year? Was it
We were Thursday last,
Yeah, you moved it last year for
right?
your
Thursday?
Thursday.
Dates still.
Thursday are good for you?
Thursday's what they were last.
All right, so we know the budget committee's gonna meet on Thursday. I won't tell you
Thursday,
what the chairman of the budget committee says, but I'll find him.
Yeah.
And
there isn't one, right?
technically, so that would work. If you wanna, what should we be, if not Mondays?
That's what I mean.
I would
think
say
the Mondays
Monday at
work
6 o'clock,
because they work for you.
On the opposite Mondays from
The opposite
select
from
board, of
select.
course, yeah.
and that's what
Fine.
I've already
Okay.
put in the budget calendar for you guys.
Okay, that works.
My plan, if it's okay with you guys, was to do emergency services tonight,
Yeah,
DPW next meeting, and then we'll have a meeting or two of review. I
Yeah.
did have on the budget committee after our third meeting that we'd be presenting the next budget committee.
The budget committee.
So
Yeah,
I may
Yeah.
move a little, but I don't think we're gonna need that many more. It hasn't changed.
Right.
actually, that, yeah.
Instead of waiting till next meeting to talk to emergency services, I invited them tonight.
Yeah.
Just to get it over with. So
yeah, it didn't look like a big,
I have a couple things we can talk about tonight, and then when Jim comes,
Yeah.
he's pretty much the whole CIP plan, so.
right. Yep. Who wants to go first? Phil or
But
Roy?
I'm putting.
Oh, the PD is up
He's
here.
got more stuff.
Whoa.
Let's do PD first. There's
Yeah, they,
not a lot for fire, so.
That's right.
You want the one that says public safety at the top?
Yeah, we did make a change. Instead of piling them all onto one spreadsheet, we made different pages in our spreadsheet for each department.
But you're maintaining a summary sheet.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah.
This is the fire
Yeah.
department, the first page that's tucked in.
yeah,
Now, I did
I
not
think I might put the
see,
fire to the other
I'm
side.
in.
so she's-
what's that?
I'll get to it.
I didn't see with this
It's the
group,
last paperclip.
I didn't see a summary sheet with this group, but that's
Right here.
okay. Did you get a summary?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Thanks.
The one that says fire department.
Yeah, and we're gonna be making some changes to
Public
that that I can
safety.
talk to after we
Okay.
get through these guys.
So who's up?
You're up, go
You're
for
up.
it.
So, for CIP, we're asking for an additional cruiser for next year.
Yeah.
It would be the final add to the fleet, to make 7 vehicles, so everybody will have a assigned vehicle. The price increased considerably over last year, due to our installation cost went up 30% from like 11 grand last year to 16 grand this year. And then the price of the cruisers just keep going up year after year. And we also failed to account for a few items to fully outfit a brand new cruiser that we usually move from cruiser to cruiser. It's been a long
Right.
time since we've added one. So you kind of, we
Okay.
overthought, didn't think of everything we needed to add to the one this year.
Is that why the one in 2026 is
Back to 60.
back to 60?
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
yeah, because this will be the final year where we buy a brand new outfitted from scratch.
Right,
Then after that, we should be able to transfer, as long as Ford doesn't change their design again, transfer from cruiser to cruiser. So we won't
Right.
actually have to buy all that equipment
or
again.
give up doing cruisers.
They're pretty well set on the hybrid Explorer. You sell pretty well, I think.
Hopefully, let's stick
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Problem is they change their design every
Right.
5 or so years, 5 to 7 years, and
Yeah,
sometimes the things don't transfer from one to the next
Yeah.
after a while. So,
Are we fully staffed now?
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
I thought we had enough cruisers. No?
we have,
no, we got,
Talking about that last year.
yeah,
yeah,
So the 6 includes yours?
yes.
Okay.
We talked about that last year. If they were not fully staffed, you would skip it.
right,
Right.
but they are,
But they
so
are
we've got
But they are percent.
That's why we didn't buy this one this year until after we were
fully staffed.
fully staffed.
Was that, okay.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna take yours and turn it into a cruiser and then make the new one yours or no?
No,
Nope.
it's gonna be a
Brand new patrol
cruiser.
vehicle.
Brand new patrol vehicle?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many miles on yours?
75,000,
75,000?
60 or 75,000.
Yeah, it's like,
65 or 70.
So is there one?
So are we gonna face 2 vehicle needs next year?
Nope,
This isn't.
it should be 1 vehicle every year.
yeah,
So you
Even though that has 75 on it, we can,
yeah,
It's an admin vehicle. It doesn't have the wear and tear that the other ones have on them,
okay.
but, and I'll let, I'm trying to.
No, no.
Yeah. So you can explain it. I'm
so
sorry.
you're figuring it's gonna be 7-year life on the
yes, so the
cruisers.
patrol vehicle should last 7 years. We put
Yeah.
about 15,000 miles a year on each car.
Yeah.
For the patrolman, so that's 7 years, like
So
120,000.
it's spreading it over because
Mine
you've
are,
got all the
yeah,
units.
mine and Roy's may be able to get 8, 9 years out of ours, because we put less miles on them,
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I
generally.
think we'll be able to get 8 out of patrol vehicles,
Maybe.
Yeah.
with the proper air and
well, that's it, and if you've got your own vehicle, you're gonna have more care to it, because it's your
That
vehicle.
Shoot for 8.
okay.
And that care goes to the general fund, right?
What goes to the general fund?
The maintenance. of
Yeah,
the-
maintenance. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, maintenance does.
But it should fit within pretty much our normal maintenance budget.
Yeah,
Yeah, still gonna be doing the same amount of maintenance, just less often on each car.
right,
It's the same amount of miles, just
yeah,
Instead of
because if
changing
you're
oil
only
every-
putting 12 or 15,
every
you
month and a
have
half,
to do
you
as many
change the
oil
mile every,
changes.
change the oil every 3 months.
And we're gonna stick to an Explorer hybrid
Yes,
if we can find one.
Roy's really good about finding
I know,
Yeah.
them.
yeah.
He's got a sixth
Cor-
sense of
Corman's
trying to find
pretty
them.
good.
yeah.
But we're optimistic that we can find a hybrid.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
we'll find one.
yeah.
Figure we'll start looking.
And when, if we don't, we'll sit on it till we find it. We're not going outside of the hybrid. We
Right.
promised the Enfield taxpayers. that
Yeah.
We're going hybrids. We're getting really good gas miles with them,
Exactly.
but we're not backing down on the word that we'll.
We know that vehicle and it's reliable and
Yeah.
it
If
works
we have to, we'll put it off until we can find one.
until we, yeah, better than going back to a sedan or something like that.
They don't even make the sedans anymore.
They aren't even making the
No.
sedan anymore?
No,
4 SUVs is all you got,
yeah,
for 4 at least.
for Ford and,
Now, off the subject, the new police officer who lives out of town,
Better-
she,
He-
he, okay. Will they be commuting in a vehicle?
No, he won't have, his car will stay at the station. He lives a little too far out of town.
Okay,
It'll be signed to him, but he won't be able to take it home.
Right. Lives in, did I hear Orange or something?
Dorchester.
Dorchester.
Now, I'll throw the caveat out there, other than when like duty assigns, right? If he's taking off at 2 AM to go to
Training.
some training thing or this or that, I'm
Sure,
not gonna make him come back to the
of
station.
course,
and have his-
of course, no, within practical reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was one of the big questions asked a couple of years ago, or last year when we went to the take-home car thing, was one of the big, I don't wanna say concerns, but things where, hey, you know, what if we hire somebody that lives in Concord, are they gonna take a car home? No, right? If you live in town or immediately.
Within
in-
5 miles or something.
Exactly,
You
then
know.
yes.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. Nope, it'll
Okay.
be assigned to them, but it'll be at the station.
Okay,
Or parked in a conspicuous place.
Yeah, or strategically parked.
I like
around town.
conspicuous place.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
any other
There'll be a
questions?
mannequin sitting in the driver's seat, but it'll be conspicuous.
Any other questions on the cruiser?
No,
Anyone?
cruiser's good.
I see Taser here, but I don't see any year or any price on it.
That was just left over from last year.
That could be taken
Yeah,
off,
that should
yeah.
be taken off.
Okay,
The only thing, the other thing we wanted to throw out there was, just put you guys on, like, give a heads up that 3 to 5 years from now, maybe, we'll be looking to replace like our portable radios.
okay,
Looking for grants, but grants are seldom with those things. They're 4 to 5 grand a piece. So they're not, it's not an immediate need, but
You
definitely
want
down the road.
you
If
wanna
you
put
can-
it into 2028, then
I was gonna say, you wanna write up a sheet,
write up a sheet and put it into
Yeah.
twenty
stick
twenty-eight,
it into one of the years you
Okay.
reasonably
Just
think
so we'll
it'll
have it.
happen.
We'll have
We
it.
can do that.
We'll pop it in there.
so we won't forget about it,
All right.
cause I'm
Something
sure
we
you
thought
won't.
about the other day, so.
Right,
Yeah.
you won't forget about it, we might.
And we're
And-
looking for a grant. Every,
Well, that's what I mean,
Oh, I know.
well, the ones we got now, we're on a grant. The ones
Yeah.
we had before that, we're on a grant. Every now and then one will pop up and we can snatch it up. And then we don't have to cost anything to the town, but
no,
if it doesn't come in the next 3 to 5 years, we're gonna.
that we're gonna
have to
need,
start
that's,
talking about it.
yeah. That's why I'm saying if you put it out to
If you do
2028,
the
that gives you
spreadsheet, put it in
3
the
years.
cat Column.
Yeah.
And fill it. Till we find the grant.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we can plan accordingly.
Okay,
And what about cameras? Was that on, is that on this year? That was last year?
That was on the Axon from last year.
That was, okay, so we're all set on that?
Yep.
Up to
Yeah.
speed?
We ended
And
up
they have a
getting-
life of, what do you think?
we ended up
So
getting
they are contracts 5 years, but they're gonna replace them after
Yeah, that was
3
that,
years. So we get a free upgrade and free replacement after 3 years, so it'll be 8 years.
8 years.
we're gonna need.
Okay,
So we got the ones we have for 3 years and they'll give us brand new ones after that.
and those didn't come out of CIP. Those we ended up purchasing with, funds that were left over from a vacant spot. So we
Right.
didn't have to borrow,
Right.
not borrow, but use CIP.
yes, yeah, really. So put that on the sheet as well, because the sheets now are going out there till about 6 years. at least.
Yeah, okay,
Or
There's a-
more. A couple of them go out to 2030.
It's a 6-year plan, so I wouldn't put anything in if it's over 6 years.
Okay.
I think we can get,
All right,
it'll be over 6 years before we need cameras again.
fine. Okay,
They last a while.
great,
yeah,
good.
okay. Is that it for you guys?
That's it.
Capital and costs for the new building, anything around the corner that we should be thinking about?
Not that like we haven't, I've discussed with Ed in our planning meetings and stuff like that,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Nothing to surprise you guys with.
Okay, nothing
Unless
we
you
need
outfit
to
our
plan
team
on.
for us. I'm just kidding, we're working on it.
I was gonna say, most of that's either in the building project
Right,
Right,
or the associations have said that they would buy it or they've gotten other people to donate it. So we're worked a lot outside for that, but nothing that we
okay,
plan on.
nothing we need to think about through the CIP.
Not
in
that
the
we
near
can think
term.
of. I'm not gonna say some won't show up, but
Well, no, I'm just, pointing it out, that these things
Right.
sometimes pop when you
Is there-
come into a new building.
Is there a risk they're gonna say police cruisers are gonna go all electric, we won't make hybrids anymore?
not that quickly.
So,
I would have said, I would have asked that question, and I did a couple of years ago,
Now it's the other way.
but the market has changed. The manufacturers are actually walking away from electric to a certain extent
yeah,
and going to hybrid.
Yeah.
What you're gonna see the change is in less all gas vehicles and more hybrid vehicles.
I assume someday you're long time from there.
I think we will eventually,
It'll be a while.
but I think it's gonna be,
10+ years, let's say.
the
Yeah.
technology just isn't there. It's just not all there.
in a couple of years, when it's time to replace
It's
the
not
Chiefs
fair.
cruiser,
I don't think you're gonna see it.
No,
you know, we'll definitely explore an electric vehicle at that point.
yeah,
I'm not sure though, because I think that I inherited my cruiser from my predecessor. I believe that the cruiser should be a fully marked, fully ready to
right.
patrol vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's an admin vehicle, doesn't have a cage, doesn't have radar, doesn't have, you know, you wouldn't just take it out and patrol, you know, like if Luke's car went down, I couldn't just say, hey, evening shift can take my car because it's not outfitted like that. So when my car comes up in that rotation, that we definitely discuss, you either go one way or the other, right? We
Right.
either go to the hybrid, fully marked, fully outfitted,
Yeah,
or we go to maybe a fully electric vehicle admin car. It can go either way, and that's a discussion for down the road.
Not from here, it isn't.
Discussion's done.
In my opinion, but
Right,
I was more just assessing because I've heard like they don't make this car anymore, they don't make this anymore, our
Yeah.
options are going down.
yeah,
Was there a risk that they were gonna go all electric because that completely changes the game because now we're gonna actually reach the things.
yeah, there's a lot more to the electric game than a lot of people think. We get a lot of people like, why aren't you in electric vehicles? Then we start talking about buying chargers and who pays for electricity when Lieutenant Fry takes his car home
Right.
and who, you know, and this and that. It's just
Complicated.
It's complicated. It's complicated in a rural area where we're at, right? If you're in a city with 90 cruisers, you wanna make 25 of them or 40 of them electric vehicles, you have that luxury. When you're in a rural environment with 7 cars, it's a lot different of a
Yeah.
game.
I'm good.
And I'll throw this out there, and it's on the record. I think some of the cost savings that some people in town are less than honest of a full evaluation of the savings. Everybody always forgets to start adding in what the cost of the chargers are, paying for electricity, like, oh, you don't have to pay for gas, but you still gotta pay for the electricity. That's
Electricity,
never part of the calculation of, you know,
most of the electricity up here is coming from petroleum, so.
I thought,
Gas is the gas or the oil, it's petroleum.
I thought your memo on the capital cost was pretty good.
and I think that breaks it down.
And I thought it broke down the capital cost pretty nicely and crafts the discussion very well.
But you see Ford sticking in the business,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna
cause
stop making.
They are the
Cruisers, yeah.
well,
Them or-
well, no,
they're-
'cause
they're
they-
very
Them or Tahoes or
doing what,
Durangos,
Suburbans,
Yes,
Tahoes.
and they're already,
and this, yeah,
and they're
Yeah.
already going. ooh,
away
boy,
from it, yeah.
You know,
New Hampshire gonna try to keep sticking with the sedans for the state?
No, they're going to
No,
Tahoes.
they're going to
They're
Tahoe.
gonna go to Tahoe's,
They're
gonna
doing,
phase
yeah,
out the,
Dodge isn't making them anymore.
they don't make them,
yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't think
you-
they were.
cause you see all the construction, places, it's all the Tahoes now.
They're using the
With this
Tahoes.
police
Yeah.
Got out there on 89
Tahoes.
with nobody in them. Okay, I guess that's the PD.
Thank you.
PD,
Yeah. We got nothing for ambulance the next 5 years, cause they got an ambulance.
ambulance was solved.
Guy came to me today, can we add this to CIP? And it was like a $5,000 piece of equipment. I was like, that doesn't go to CIP. We'll talk in the budget committee.
In your budget.
Yeah, that goes in budget.
Bills up,
It was all-
There's no ask in here. We have a fire truck payment that was ordered last year.
right,
That's,
yeah,
but Phil can talk about the truck if you wanna talk about that or anything with it.
The only part I was confused with the tanker was I thought we were gonna spread it over 3 years for some reason.
It went all over and you guys decided at the end just to pay cash when it was due.
cash, yeah,
Because of the concern of money with this,
right,
and there was a big discount.
right,
was there?
No, there was
No,
supposed to
it
be a
wasn't
big
gonna be.
discount. If we did 3 and it wasn't gonna be much,
It
and we
was gonna
actually
be,
made
yeah.
more if we left it in the bank.
right, yeah,
So,
But there was a difference in what was initially asked for to what the end price is.
yeah, it's significantly cheaper.
okay,
It's showing 450, I believe, two 225 payments, and we're gonna be in the range of 380-ish
okay,
with the total at the end, so.
383.
383, 573.
There you go.
The 10,000 was for,
The trade-in of
Engine
the
five.
truck that we,
So that, the 10,000, is that trade-in once it gets here, right?
no,
No,
you
it's
just got
gone.
on,
It's, engine 5 is gone, it would just go against the bottom number.
right?
What's the $80,000 offset from sale of two fire? What's that?
That was the original anticipation.
Right.
Okay,
We should update that.
so we should
We
take
need to
that
take
off.
that right
That's
out
not
of there.
accurate.
Yeah,
So, but we think we'll only get the 10,000. We probably
Well,
already,
we know that we're gonna get 10,000 for engine 5.
Yeah.
right.
We have a couple discussions for later
With the tanker.
with the tanker.
with the tanker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not thinking about holding on to it, you mean?
just
I
how,
started driving
how we
around
want to get
yesterday.
rid of it.
Yeah. And that doesn't happen until a year from now?
Approximately.
Yeah.
June,
Yeah.
Well, in about,
It'll be next
May-
year, so we can talk about
May, June,
getting rid of the.
yeah,
it's gonna be May, June of this next year that the new one is delivered.
So we'll get, okay, so we'll be getting trade-in on the tanker.
so we can get some,
Before the end of the year?
I don't think it's gonna be a trade-in. I've been approached by another fire department who is very familiar with this tanker. And believe it or not, from Kentucky.
Okay,
And
they
because
want it.
it was a person who was a member in Enfield Center. Knows the truck very well. They have a very small rural department with many people that can still drive standard. And
moonshiners.
maybe they're gonna run liquor, I don't know, but
Yeah. could
hey,
be.
whatever, more power to them.
Mobile, mobile still.
And we're working on, I've gotten one appraisal on it, had another one lined up, but we lost that person to be able to do it, so I'm looking for somebody else to do another appraisal. And then we'll sit down and figure out and
Yeah,
talk.
we had talked about it and I said, if we're looking at a deal where we're just selling to one department, let's get a few appraisals to
Yeah.
make sure we're in the ballpark. and-
Yeah.
But that might be an easy way to go, is just sell it straight across to another department and walk.
Well, and I think it's generally, anytime you sell something outright, it's gonna be more than you typically get for a trade-in.
Well, when I said trade-in, I mean, we're gonna get money for it. I didn't think that they wanted that truck. The ones that are selling.
So does the trade-in come back to CIP or does that
It'll
go?
have to go through vote of the town meeting, but
Town meeting.
I think we should,
We can
we should.
restore money to CIP with the trade-in,
Offset
yeah.
to CIP.
So you might know something by March or no?
Oh, I would hope, yeah, I would hope prior to that, so that we'd be ready to roll when the new truck comes in.
Yeah,
that we're
so
not-
we could put something in,
I was gonna say, it'd be nice to know before like
End of January.
well,
January,
Jan-
February, so we can.
right,
warn
it'd be
them.
nice if we could know by mid to late January and then we can,
No, I've just gotta get that second appraisal.
that'd be nice.
Okay,
Great,
Had it set up, but
super,
Larry Dingy passed away on me,
yeah,
yeah,
that's a big loss.
we'll find somebody else.
yeah.
And nobody's taken over that outfit,
Dingy,
yeah,
his daughters.
his daughter's gonna try to. Yeah. Good,
Okay, Cascade System
Cascade system is still in there.
for 2026.
It's still on a grant. We're still waiting information and to know if we've gotten the grant or not. But
Okay.
until it's awarded, you do not.
Right, we're not gonna do it until we get the grant.
And if we don't get the grant, we will look at also moving the one that we have.
to the new station,
I mean, it will be, the electrical requirements and everything else is all gonna be the same.
Yep.
But it's just when that one quits, it's gonna be the end of the line because they're no longer, the item is no longer in business and.
Okay.
will it survive a move? If
Yeah,
it happens?
Yeah, I believe that it'll survive. It will be.
Okay.
Yep.
I would say if we don't get the grant this year, we should seriously consider.
Put it in for next year.
So a year from now, we ought to be talking about it and adding it to that CIP, right? So that it,
2026, that's
Did
what
we
it
got-
so that we could, worst case, purchase it, contract it
2026.
January 2nd, 2026, and commit to it.
It's on here for 2026.
Not here for 20.
I see it's on here for 2026, but I mean, it'd be something that would have to be contracted for very early in the year if,
I don't think it's that big of a rush. We put it through the CIP like everything else
Right.
for 2026.
Yeah,
Any idea on the odds on the grant?
The odds on the grant,
Yeah. Is it,
until you get any information, I would still say that it's 50-50 to be true. I mean.
Okay. that's fine.
the-
I just was curious.
What's the
50
source
is
of
a
the
fine
grant?
number.
Well, it's federal.
I know it's federal, but what,
Federal.
AFG, Assistant to Firefighter
Assistant
Grant
firefighter.
okay,
grant.
okay,
Program.
But it's a very competitive grant system
I'm
and
sure.
everybody applies for everything. And our one plus in it is that Cascade is, Air Machines are high on their award priority. They send out a priority list prior to each year with the grant system. And I mean, some departments hire people to watch this and write those grants every year for the priorities.
right.
But it is high on their priority list.
Okay, good.
Any other questions?
And you don't foresee any capital issues? Same question I asked the police department. You don't foresee any capital issues?
The
going
only
into
other
the
one
building?
is that we took the radios and moved those out a little bit. We had been going at 15,000 a year for radios. Right now, not looking to replace any. We still have some surplus, if you will. But those will need, I don't know where those ended up. Did those end back up on the list, Ed?
2026,
2026
20,
and 27, 28.
We
and
still have them
29.
pushing out, but
right,
we had talked last year that we were gonna budget those if they were an annual expenditure
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
And then we just decided this year that he didn't need any, so we're not gonna be asking
Okay.
for it in the budget.
Now, you
'cause there's
bought
no-
some in 2020, no?
No,
no, still have the surplus.
Okay.
Unrelated question, what's going on with the front brakes on engine 3?
The front brakes,
Yes,
the noise,
yes.
those are hard brake pads that I have been told that the edges needed to be ground, but I'm not quite ready to move forward with that until I hear it from the manufacturer.
Okay,
And it's just simply that they are a sharp edge instead of a rounded so that they
Right.
don't.
okay.
Both engines will do it intermittently.
Oh.
If it gets run more, you don't have it.
Right. So it's nothing that like,
It's not going to shorten the life of the machine. It's
right,
not going
not a
to-
maintenance issue that we're putting
No.
off to save money.
No,
It's,
not whatsoever.
alright,
No,
And the SCBA's are sitting out there in 2033.
Yep. I
Okay,
mean, when we get to the
when they get.
end
have to
of
be
their
replaced.
life and,
Right.
yep,
Future
Okay,
thoughts.
it's just a placeholder.
the placeholder, just as a reminder.
Good.
Anything else, Phil? Anything else from the committee?
No.
And I will say, you asked the same question, Roy, as far as capital items for the public safety. I mean, there's gonna be some items and the associations will be doing some. But some of the other stuff also have some people that are gonna work on building some of the things rather than buying manufactured, like hose racks and
Yeah.
drying racks and that type of thing. And I think we have some people that are interested in helping out with that. We may end up spending material, but that will come out of budget versus needing other capital outlay. I mean, through all of this, I think everybody's worked pretty hard to find every avenue and corner where we can get help and save some money, so.
Good.
Great. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Any questions from the public? Nothing? Okay,
Just wanting to see
yep,
how you operate.
okay.
Something operate.
is there a typo on the summary?
Mhm.
A typo on the summary.
Where?
So
All the X's or?
Oh, the admin
Mhm.
20. Oh,
We can go through the admin one.
you guys are tricking me by changing the years.
Yeah, this one has 2024 in it still.
I know, that's why I was like, the numbers don't line up. Okay.
So if we want to go through that one,
Yeah, I think,
there's two things. One is ballot counting devices, two of them. If we put them into this year's budget, we can get a grant that pays, looks like a little over 50% of the machine. So if we move forward and get a new ballot counting, does it say two ballot counting devices?
Yeah,
Yes.
and those grants are like uncommon.
They're not super common.
It's a brand new grant created by the state of New Hampshire specifically to help towns transition to these new tabulators.
Got it.
Yeah, they're doing away with the old one that we have in there,
Okay,
pushing everybody towards getting new ones. And
so then,
so they release this grant.
so sounds like we should do that then.
The way I read it, though, they weren't going to come online till 2026. But it's listed as a cost for 2025.
I
The
mean,
grant ends, I think, in 2026.
Yes,
so we need to apply next year.
Right.
so we don't need to spend any money out of the 25 CIP for them, since it comes in 2026.
We'll double check that.
Yeah.
That's only the way that I read the memo that you sent
Right.
out with it.
Yeah,
Well, the grant is only available through June 2026. However, the technology in the current machines is outdated and is no longer supported. So if something happens to one of them, we're done. So I think that's why it was put in.
so you can put the grant in
2025.
now,
Yeah.
Yes,
and it
buy
could
them
be
in
next year,
2025.
and so it could be 2025.
okay,
Because
so,
the existing machines are not supported. And if it breaks, we're just down a machine.
But they haven't even made a decision which machines yet.
They have narrowed it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is for the
I think they have
least.
two.
They, yeah,
They've
they're-
They've narrowed it down to a couple, but they've
Yeah.
not made any choice at the state
I don't
level
know
yet.
that they're necessarily going to,
No, I think we choose which one we want.
and this is the least expensive option.
yeah,
Okay, so if we take the money out of CIP in 25, we would receive a machine.
the
Yeah,
grant,
I think we order it, we put in for the grant and then we order the machine.
Well, yes, but I mean, the machine that we would want is available in 2025 is I guess what I'm
Right.
asking.
I think so.
yeah,
Okay.
We can double check that, but I believe
Yeah.
so.
yeah, the June 30 date is the last you can
Yeah.
put in
that's
for
when
the
it
grant
goes
is June 30,
Yeah.
2026.
But it's not a competitive grant.
No,
It's a state
Right.
grant to anyone.
but
that
they're
applies.
basically telling the towns,
Sure, but
Yeah,
I, Alyssa makes a good point.
Right.
If our tabulator, which
Oh,
does
yeah.
stink, by the way, and I don't think we even have two right now, to be
We have
perfectly
one.
honest. I've only ever seen one out there, which we keep having to unstuff and refeed. So it is on its
Yeah.
last legs, the one I've seen.
And then the Walk a Mile grant.
Yeah.
Is still going. I'm not gonna say those numbers are 100%. It looks like we're just gonna have engineering and that came in at about 156,000 total for engineering. We have 20% of that.
right?
Now, did we spend money in 2024 for engineering? Have
We have not yet.
We haven't paid any
We
bills.
just got a bill that I need to talk to the engineers. I think there's a few things wrong with it, but we will be paying some money in 2024.
Because there was some money in CIP in 2024
Yeah,
for,
Right.
it.
right.
Okay,
Our,
But I believe
From
this is
that.
gonna trickle into 2025 too. It may actually end up getting pushed ahead a little bit, depending on how much engineering they get done.
right,
And so are there, so I believe that's the grant last year we were concerned about. We wouldn't be able to spend all the money
Yeah.
fast enough.
We won't have enough time to construct the
We're
trail.
only gonna be
but we can do the engineering.
Okay.
yeah,
And so we don't even plan to start the construction because the grant will run out.
No, we have to have a contractor obligated by next month, and the engineering's not even done on it.
Right. Got it.
So we do have the engineering money obligated, so we'll be able to finish engineering and that can go into 2025.
And then, is there a chance we're gonna reapply for it and then, or is that?
I don't know if that grant will reopen, but I talked with the state a few different possible grants for
Okay,
construction money. We'll look at that after we get the engineering done and know exactly how much it's gonna be.
okay, all right.
So this 2025 money might get moved up. I can talk to our engineers a little bit and adjust this as we move forward.
But we're only talking, from our point of view, the match piece.
Yeah, 20%
Would come
of
out
like
of CIP.
160,000 round numbers.
Okay. So we're looking at actually only about, okay, between the $6,000 grant, that's the, okay.
And that's all we have. There's a couple things on the DPW one I wanted to just highlight before you guys get
Yeah,
to them next time.
Yeah.
I think we left it highlighted, but maybe not, the 85,000
yeah, it is.
for the parking lot here.
Yeah,
I left it on for you guys to make this decision, but I want to throw something out to you right now. I think we should do it sometime, but I think it should go in the future. But we also just did the sidewalk thing. We have a approval to borrow $40,000 and my recommendation would be to move that 85 out and put 40,000 there and not get a loan for the sidewalks. But that's up to you guys.
Is there a sheet that has all of
I
that?
guess I don't have last year. So last year, the 40,000 was gonna be borrowed?
We have authority to
It was-
borrow
it was like
$40,000.
5 years ago that it was committed to be in a large package.
30, but it was it borrowed? Is that what it was?
So it's gonna be borrowed, it was a part of a large package of
Yeah.
4 or 5 different
With the Oak
projects
Hill Road.
that were
It
approved.
was Oak Hill Road and a bridge replacement.
Right.
And the sidewalks were put together,
Right,
but the bridge was done separately.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
the sidewalk piece remains out there.
right.
So you're suggesting
So we
that the
could do it,
the 40,000
I guess.
slide into the CIP?
Get a loan for $40,000 for 3 years or something.
Yeah.
And as we look at the entire
We'll
plan,
have to think about that one, yeah.
yeah, as
I
we're
mean, I'm
looking at
seeing-
the entire plan, this year's gonna be a proposed heavy expenditure,
Yeah,
but the next few years, it goes down quite a bit. And then as you look at DPW, there's some bridge replacements. I've talked to Jim a little bit and I'm gonna recommend what Tracy said last year is maybe next year we put a little bit of money in to have our bridges evaluated.
yeah,
I don't believe most of them need to be replaced, so I think they can come off the list completely.
yeah, I mean,
The only one that I
the
think.
dam bridge is gonna be the big one. George,
Yeah, but it's, no, I don't believe it's anywhere near.
Right.
Replacing it. It was on the list to replace because it's listed as a high hazard bridge.
Right.
And we pay, I'll get the number, but we pay a little bit more. It's a very little bit more
Right.
every year. Because of that, and it's not worth the cost that that bridge is gonna cost to replace.
We pay a little bit more to whom?
We have a bridge or a bridge payment that we have to pay to the state every year to. I think it's so they can do the inspections, those types of
Right.
things.
Oh, I see.
But there's a fee that we pay for the bridges and because it's listed as high hazard, we pay a little bit higher fee.
I see.
And when DPW comes, I can have it bring those numbers so you know what that difference is, but I think it's under $1,000 a year extra. So
Yes.
when you're talking probably $1 million bridge or close, it's a lot. Not cheap.
These sheets have the balance of CIP on it to read over time. Like for future years.
Well, we have the projections out for the appropriations, but not,
Right.
we don't have the total for this.
what the cash balance is,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what we need,
Yes.
then we'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I really want to look at this longer term plan. We'll continue
Yeah.
modifying this coming this year, but what we really need to do is hover around the amount that we're bringing.
Right.
And
And,
this year's a little higher, but it looks like next year's gonna be lower.
right,
But we also, per the warrant article, we shifted some money into CIP.
We did.
Right.
I think having the balance
Yeah.
would give us a little more confidence
Right.
in a couple of the decisions.
Mark, you say that,
No word on Potato Road either, right? The FEMA mitigation.
No, and we stuffed that out quite a
I
bit.
know.
That's one of those, we're not gonna do it if FEMA doesn't pay.
Right.
And if they
Yeah.
do and we have 20% to pay, we'll figure out how to pay for it.
Yeah,
But we're not gonna do it if they don't. I think the only one we look at possibly doing coming up is the electrical pond
Right.
culvert, because we have had a couple heavy rains and it's been close to overflowing the
Well,
road.
we've also speculated for Jim that could be self-performed as a culvert.
Yeah, we can put a box culvert in there. That was, needs to be happen, whether we do it or we hire someone. It's
right,
gonna be expensive, but it's not gonna be that expensive and it could save us a lot.
right.
Some of those, we have to look at the opportunity cost is what I'm gonna call it, but we could
Fair enough.
self-perform it, but it's gonna take us most of the summer and we'll get nothing else done. So it's probably worth contracting that out.
Right.
And then the only other one you'll see on there with absolutely no price in it is a upgrade to Shakoma Beach. We're working on that. We're gonna talk to the select board. We don't have any prices or anything, but I just wanted to put it on there that it's hanging out there somewhere that might be something that
The one insert that I'd like you to put in there either for 20, not necessarily 25, but perhaps 26, is an engineering study of Shakoma Beach. Really a design. To come up with a proper design for all of the erosion, retaining walls, et cetera, that would be required.
Yeah, let's bring you some plans of what we'd like to do, and then
That's
as we
fine.
talk about it, then we
And
can
that's fine.
figure out. if
That's
we
the
need
only
an
thing.
engineer.
As a placeholder, I'm thinking there needs to be something in there. A little more than just listing it as the subject.
on DPW,
You'll get some pretty soon.
I know it comes up next time, but have we gone through and properly spaced them out?
Their trucks?
Yeah.
I believe so. We'll be looking at this a little more. Jim can talk about it a little better, but I'm gonna say a little bit of the problem moving forward is 5 years ago, we kicked the can on the loader and it compresses everything when you kick the can, so the things are coming up.
We
and
did
we're
an
gonna have to
overhaul on it.
Decide what we wanna do.
Yeah. As we said, if we get another 5 years with an overhaul.
A different subject, and I don't want to steal Jim's thunder for the DPW, but the Shaker Boulevard Bridge apparently came in at a much higher price than we thought. Got 1.9 listed here, and it was 1.2 when it was discussed as the town,
he'll have
to establish the town share.
He'll have to discuss that with you. I haven't been in contact with their engineers or anything. So
Okay. I'm just thinking that at some point then, we're gonna have to, if it has gone up, we're gonna have to come back and ask for a little more money for the match. According to this, the match has gone up.
Yeah, but we're financing it.
No, there's still a town match.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, but we haven't asked for
We haven't
an
asked for
act
anything.
at all. So we're not coming back for anything. We need to
Right.
decide how we're gonna do it. If we decide to
Right.
finance it, then we'll have to go to the
Right.
tax.
But our match is $48,000.
It wasn't that much. And on this it is,
Right.
but it was not that high.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't see us financing $48,000.
I would recommend you not
I would see us
paying it.
paying in cash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but, and originally the match was about 32,000.
32, yeah.
So it did change a little, probably
Yeah.
based on
The
Jim
20%.
having
Yeah,
gotten
As we're
information from the
finalizing
state. They're
engineering,
bidding,
things
not
will
us.
change.
Right.
Which bridge is that?
Shaker Boulevard.
Boulevard.
Why is the big? The grant?
That's a
Yes.
grant.
State
Oh,
and federal.
State's paying because it's
Federal's paying about 80%, state's
Right.
paying about 10%. We're paying
the other.
not
The
much.
match.
It's
Right,
cheap.
yeah. 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 But we'll save that for Jim.
Yeah, and look at that. We did put
Yeah.
2 things in the trucks to finance them this year.
Yeah,
we have a high year. I think it's something we should do. I do have Elisa working on getting you guys a summary page that adds everything up, and we're gonna estimate what payments will be, so you can. see
Yeah,
it year
also,
to
yeah,
year.
well, yeah, also see what we're retiring this year too.
Yeah, we're retiring 3 loans,
3 of them, I
Three
think.
three loans are being
Yeah.
retired.
and that's what we're
debt
putting in
service.
Right,
the long term of what the
so it may not,
pre-existing debt
Right.
service is and what we're
3.5%.
adding.
well, yeah, I know, but retiring 3 loans may make up the difference.
So we
Of
have,
adding up,
we
yeah,
have
this
$209,551 in existing debt for 2025, and in 2026, it's 167,198, and that's down from
Yeah,
24.
right,
We closed 3 loans this year.
yeah,
They weren't big ones, but they, you know,
but they were, yeah,
we have.
because Jones
I
Hill,
think, 2,
Jones Hill is closed, right?
Yes,
Jones Hill is
24, yeah.
Yeah,
and there's a there's a vehicle lease.
vehicle lease,
And something else again. But we have 2 more in 2025. It'll be paid.
okay,
So like you said, we'll bring this to the next meeting. You know, that debt's coming off. If we add some more, we'll be
oh, yeah,
talking
and
about the same. But I don't think we're in.
we may make
position
a
right now
decision on cruisers.
To,
If he's saying they're gonna last 7 or 8 years, it may be finance cruisers over 4 or 5. So then we could keep upping them and cutting them off. Retiring them way before they're,
you can look at it. Let's look at the long-term plan. Let's put a little more
Yeah.
thought. I think with those
Yeah.
bridges coming off, I think we have enough money to pay cash for them if we want, which is
yeah,
cheaper than leasing them.
yeah. Okay,
I mean,
We'll
yeah,
see.
it makes sense to make those payments, but if we can pay for them and not have to pay interest,
right.
money,
Oh,
so,
I agree.
and it appears that we're going to be there. I mean, when you look at the total number being spent, you look at water, sewer, all those things, but you have to remember, they're not coming out of
Well, I
CIP.
know they're not, but
It's a chunk, and we gotta look at what's coming into water.
that's what
sewer.
I mean. I mean, $2.5 million project, 2 years out, that's gonna be going to, 300 people.
Yeah.
Little more because it's a water one, not a sewer one, but,
And we may wanna, well, we can talk about pushing that off, but we are at the top of the list for SRF loan as well, which is,
okay,
they
No
hate, they
grants?
favorably look at it. The SRF loans usually come with some sort of forgiveness, but they don't tell you what that is when you apply for them.
right, they tell you
After the
when you,
fact.
after you get
You
them,
know, the last one, like I said, we had ARPA and forgiveness, and we were
Right.
at like 60% forgiveness.
right,
So that was really good, or
What is this on?
it's, state revolving fund.
Okay.
So it's
And we
a
don't know of
low
any-
interest loan.
We don't know of any, federal grant money available for that, since it's water lines with
We can look,
the
see
mercury
if we can,
issue and all of that, but
it's not really that, there's a lot of infrastructure money out there,
Right.
so there may be some, but
some leftover money from,
we gotta look at that and talk to our engineers, cause a lot of times you take
Yeah, they
federal
got it.
money for infrastructure and you're double the price of your project.
yeah,
Maybe not quite double, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, is it worthwhile with what we're doing? And
I don't know if this is a typo, but line 8, DPW, $180,000 Volkswagen grant.
Yep.
But the grants don't actually add up to 180, it's only 40.
What are you looking at?
Public Works, line 8, it says 180 VW grant.
Oh, there was a 180 VW grant, but that's this year. not
2024.
2020. That should come
24.
off because
getting that right now.
that's the 2024
Got it.
vehicle.
yeah, that truck's been ordered.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, because we're
No.
into.
we're into Jim, so I don't wanna
Right,
steal his thunder.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight a few things as you
Right.
started
Fair
looking
enough.
through this and. And then, like I said, the summary page is it for you that are to look at, but we were just talking today. I personally just didn't like the fact that we're adding like 242,000 in finance, but it doesn't show what's actually gonna come out in the
Right.
cash line. So we're adding a few lines to do that, to have a
Okay.
quicker snapshot of
Yep.
how much we're proposing in
Yep.
CIP funds every year. So we can look at, here's how much we're bringing in, here's how much we're putting in.
Right.
Yeah.
This cash balance over time so that we don't.
Right.
Oh, that's what I talked to Elisa about, that we're a little over 600,000 coming in.
Right,
You know, we're at 780 this year. I'd like to be at 400 or 500 next year. It's gonna offset that,
Right.
and we're not losing our balance
Yeah.
every year. If we have a high year, we should follow it by a couple low years.
Yep. Agreed.
wanna talk schedule now?
We can dock schedule.
Thanks, guys.
I,
Thought we kind of did. but-
well, I thought we did too.
Well, is Jim ready to talk in 2 weeks?
He's scheduled, I've scheduled with him to talk in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So I want him to come in and do the DPW thing,
Yep.
and then I scheduled the next meeting for you guys to do an overview and review. We should be fully planned out by
Okay.
then and have a good picture for the next 6 years.
okay,
And
so we're looking at the 9th of September for the next meeting?
I think so.
Yep, September 9,
Second, third,
and then September 23rd.
and, yeah.
We'll go forward from there.
And
And
we'll
we'll
go
probably
forward from there.
present to budget
I had,
early October.
it was early October.
I'd like to
Yeah.
do early October.
Yeah, I would too.
Just get it done and over with.
Well, you guys need it.
You have to have it in order to be able to think about the bigger picture. so to
Right,
speak.
exactly.
So I think it's important that.
It's
you know,
important.
Because it's large numbers and I don't want those large numbers hanging out there that are
Right,
unknown to the rest of the budget committee.
I wanna say I had you guys scheduled, I can look it up, for the, like, the first budget committee meeting in October.
Yeah.
Type CIP.
Yep.
And if we have to, when we get there, push it out one, we can push it out one, but just trying to come up with an.
we'll just see when they schedule,
Yeah,
because you don't schedule for every week, right?
I'm giving them a schedule tomorrow of what we're gonna be talking about.
Right,
Like I did you guys, so,
yeah,
yeah, budget committee, CIP presentation and employee compensation discussion, first meeting in October.
okay,
So what I'm saying is if for some reason we're not there, I can bump police fire up and bump that one back, and
okay.
What was, I haven't looked, what was the July to July, metric?
I need to look it up. I looked last week and it wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
June was 3.8, but, July over the past few years has been about 1 point less than that. So I'm looking at probably around 2.8, but I haven't seen the actual number yet.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Which puts us a little lower than the past couple of years. We'll talk about that.
Anybody got any other questions?
No, we shall see you in 2 weeks. Well, actually, you're,
I'm not there anymore.
most of you tomorrow.
Not
that.
me.
That's,
I got friends in Mascoma tomorrow, so I want them to show up.
We adjourned.
Guess I'm gonna call, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Move, we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nobody's opposed, I know that. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, committee.